Welcome to the Philadelphia Flower Show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's March the 13th, a Monday, and it may be in the 20s outside, but we are here in the Philadelphia Convention Center where it's going to be springtime. And the theme for this year's flower show, which is well over 200 years, close to 200 years old, this year is called Holland Flowering America, Flowering the World. I should know my homework before I do these things. It's called Holland Flowering the World. And I'm standing here with a resident expert, in my opinion, who is a member of the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. This is June. June is going to be our assistant as we travel through Holland and see, I'm sure, lots of tulips and things like that, and learn lots of things about I guess what's popular in that part of the world and probably everywhere else in the world, since they export these flowers literally to all four corners of the earth, I would assume. So June, tell us a little bit about where all this money goes that people are paying to get in here that some complain about because of the cost, but I happen to know there's a good reason for these costs.
Well, one reason I'm happy to be a member of the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society is that the annual flower show is their major fundraiser. I wonder how many people are aware that their ticket helps to support many greening projects introducing Philadelphia and the area residents to horticulture. That includes things like neighborhood gardens, school gardens. They have worked with incarcerated people to learn horticulture as a trade and landscaping. They have tree tenders, which help city residents learn to plant and maintain trees. They beautify much of the Philadelphia area then. So it's basically community improvement through greening and through horticulture. I mean, it's just a ton of good work. So I hope people realize that their ticket for the flower show is doing more than entitling them to see a beautiful
display.
Many beautiful displays, yes.
And that's what we're going to do right about now. We're going to go, I have a million questions to ask this lady. So as we go into the show, if I think of something intelligent, I'll ask her. Actually, I have a couple of intelligent things to ask you right about now. So follow me and let's go to the show, all right? One of the things was, do all the people from Holland wear wooden shoes? And the other question I had is, does hollandaise sauce come from Holland? And thirdly and finally, what about the Holland Tunnel? Maybe we'll get all these answers as we go.
We'll see.
Well, we're here on the main floor of the exhibition at the flower show, and it's quite crowded, and people are literally everywhere, in front of you, behind you, under you, on top of you, whatever. And we are about to go see what we came here to see, so join us. Take two. So we just walked in the main gate here, and what are we looking at here, June?
Well, since the main theme is Holland, we're seeing part of the main exhibit, featuring, of course, bulbs and tulips, most especially. There are tens of thousands of tulips that are going to be displayed in the show this year, and this is just a gorgeous
Just
thing.
a short sampling.
Just a short sampling.
You know, I did a little bit of homework, only because I was watching TV, and I found out that tulips are not from Holland. They're from Turkey.
That's right.
Yeah.
They go back hundreds of years
right,
in
like
Holland.
The 1600s or something, and they were so rare and valuable that at one point in time they were actually used as currency.
They called it tulip mania. Yes, it did a...
How do you say that in Hollandaise?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, but it did a number on the economy, apparently, when the market fell out. The bottom fell out of the tulip market there.
What we're looking at now is hanging flowers, hanging literally from the ceiling. And there is a variety of colors as we move across the sky here, going from deep purple to reddish and then in the green. It's gorgeous. Something you would expect to see in Holland, the windmills. I don't think this trip would have been complete without looking at windmills.
No, I think that is to be expected.
Yeah.
exhibit is illustrating the Dutch wave movement, and that takes natural and sustainable approach to landscape design. As you can tell by the wild grasses, a variety of perennials in the berms, and this is apparently a feature of Dutch landscapers, where they try to produce what they call a controlled chaos. We are now at the Echo Dome. This is the inaugural journey of a showcase of the Dutch vision of sustainable production and green technologies.
Well, I've actually found my wooden shoes, but whoever wore them had to be a little bigger than the average everyday person. And there they are. And June, what were you telling me about bicycles being a major form of transportation in Holland?
Yeah, for decades now. I think Holland was the first country to make bikes available on the street. Like Philadelphia now has a bike share program, but they were one of the first. And apparently a very large percentage of people commute or get around Holland on bikes. So I think we'll be seeing lots of bikes or parts of bikes.
Hopefully they're not trying to bike through the crowds we're dealing with today, because you can barely walk through it.
That would be challenging. Well, we're standing at the foot of a just stunning orchid display. It looks like they have ribs to simulate a greenhouse, but instead of covering or glass, they have just buckets and little buckets of all different varieties of orchids. It's really just beautiful. And you can also see the amazing variety in size and shape and color of orchids that are available. exhibit is called Pedals, P-E-D-A-L-S, the White Bike Plan, because in 1967 the Dutch group Provo enacted their White Bike Plan. That created Amsterdam's bike share movement, which now has spread throughout the world, including Philadelphia.
A sample of the Philadelphia Flower Show 2017 March, spring indoors in the Pennsylvania Convention Center, and we've seen a lot about Holland. I learned a bit more than I knew before I walked in the front door, I can admit that, and thanks to my expert June here, I even know more than I expected to. Well, so do you have any parting words for our lovely audience out there?
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of smiling faces. I think this is a wonderful theme between the bulbs and all the blooms and the ecology exhibits. I think it's a show anybody could appreciate. They did a great job.
And behind me, for those of you that love to spend money, like possibly my wife or June or someone else, there's a lot of places where you can purchase flowers and bulbs and trinkets to remember the occasion.
Very big vending area.
Very good vending area. So we'll see you next time. This is Rich Mendoza reporting.